All right, guys. So, welcome to the Left Side View with Rahul and Amitabh. This is a review episode. Amitabh, I think before we begin, I think a special shout out goes to the Senegal national team for what they did in winning the African Cup of Nations. And again, this is extra special to us for for Chelsea fans because Edu Mendy, I think, wow, I think he saved a couple of penalties in the penalty shootout. So it was, I mean, obviously, like the focus was in a way a little bit about Liverpool and Liverpool's players, Sadio Mane versus Mohamed Salah, but then people I think forgot about Chelsea's very own Champions League winner Edu Mendy. So yeah, in fact, if we take into consideration the fact that Sadio Mane actually even missed a penalty uh, in the regulation time in the 90 minutes. Maybe if he had scored that penalty, then the game would have not reached extra time or even penalties. So yeah, I mean, obviously it's a really great result for Mendy, especially just before the Club World Cup. Will just fill him full of confidence. I think once he is done, I guess celebrating, he will join soon with his teammates in Abu Dhabi. So anything that you want to say about this match, Amitabh?
Yes, Rahul. Congratulations to the Senegal national team. I think this is their first championship in 60 years. They were the beaten finalists last time around. And yes, all the media attention was on Sadio Mane versus Mo Salah. But yes, our boy Mendy quietly crept in and made a couple of decent saves in the penalty shootout. And well done again, well done to the Senegal team. They played well throughout the match. I mean, throughout the tournament actually. And Egypt, yes, they were in the final, but the fact is they scored only 4 goals in 7 matches. So again, yeah, I think deserved winners Senegals, and once again, kudos to them. Well done.
Yeah, I think this was the fourth match of the tournament that went to extra time. So yeah, they clearly struggled in scoring goals. I mean, Salah couldn't really find his scoring boots like he did at Liverpool. But a special, I think, shout out also goes to Egypt's goalkeeper Gabaski. I think he was their second choice goalkeeper, but still, ever since he came into the side, he has been just so good. So good at saving penalties, so good at making saves. I checked, he's 33 years old, so I think maybe we could see him in Europe at least. Right now, he's still playing in his native Egypt. So let's see if these performances earn him a move to a big club in Europe. But yes, I think now that we've talked about the African Cup of Nations, I think we can talk about a little bit about the FA Cup, a couple of upsets and a couple of probable upsets. So one is obviously Chelsea versus Plymouth Argyle match. I think the fact that it went to extra time, wow, like it gave me such a big scare. But eventually, Chelsea did win thanks to the heroics of another goalkeeper. This time, Kepa. So Kepa getting the job done at Chelsea, and Mendy getting the job done for Senegal. Um, Other than that, the upsets that we talked about, I think Leicester City, they were knocked out by Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest have been on this giant killing spree, first knocking out Arsenal and now knocking out Leicester and Manchester United at home. Uh, Lost in a way on penalties to Middlesbrough, like after a 1-1 draw. Uh, so yeah, anything that you want to talk about in these matches?
Uh, yes, Rahul. Starting off with our match, actually, I was. I mean, I don't know how many of you would believe me, but I was actually happy to see Chelsea struggle for a while after a 2 week break with the Club World Cup and stuff. So I think such performances, overcoming difficulty, I think it will bring the team a little closer. I hope so at least. Um, Again, for Nottingham Forest, bravo, well done. Midlands Derby, and they got the job done. After the match, Rogers said that maybe some of the Leicester players have reached their ceiling. Let's see what he means by that. As far as Manchester United is concerned, again, another new turn in the Manchester United saga that we have been witnessing for so many years now. I mean, they played well, they created a lot of chances, but again, they did not manage to score. Ronaldo missed a penalty out of all people, and 8-7 on penalties. Well done, Middlesbrough.
Yeah. I think Chris Wilder. I think I read some stat maybe some time ago. He was manager of a different team, and he knocked out United at Old Trafford while in charge of that team. Maybe Sheffield United. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Sheffield.
Yeah, but he has done that before as well. So yeah, we can probably move to the league action now, Amitabh.
Sure. So let's start off with the Bundesliga. On Saturday, we had Bayern Munich against RB Leipzig. And again, Bayern 3-2 winners. They actually took the lead through Thomas Muller, a deflected shot of Lewandowski. He just tapped in. Then Lewandowski himself scored, and Guardiola scored an own goal for Bayern Munich. For Leipzig, Andre Silva and Christian Kuku scored 2 goals. Again, and I think we'll discuss it again in the Dortmund match. This fixation of playing from the back is something that has, irritated me for quite a while now. If you see the goals, the kind of goals that Leipzig and then even Dortmund conceded, um, it is nice and it is ambitious that everybody wants to be like Manchester City. But then you also have to draw the line where safety comes first. And again, as I said, I think there's this fixation that again, everybody wants the goalkeeper to be a good ball player now, and the defenders to play back and across in their own last third. And then I just think that there's not a lot of necessity to invite such pressure, especially when you're playing the big teams. And yeah, Bayern now 9 points in lead with Dortmund also losing. So well done to them, Rahul.
Uh, I mean, ever since Tedesco has taken charge, I mean, Nkunku was already scoring so many goals, but ever since Tedesco has taken charge, even Andre Silva can't stop scoring. I think he scored 6 goals in 7 matches. So yeah, I'm in a way just happy that it was not a drubbing, it was not a mauling. I mean, it was not a 3-0 or a 4-0. I think maybe uh, when it comes to Bayern Munich matches, yeah, that's the only way I can find my solace. That is not a drubbing. So yeah, in a way, 3-2 is a good result. Uh, I think Leipzig gave a great account of themselves. So yeah, uh,
Yeah, when you talk about drubbing, the next match, Dortmund against Leverkusen, that definitely was a drubbing at home. And with two consecutive 3-2 wins, again, people were of the opinion that maybe Dortmund have the fighting spirit. And again, I was like, I'll reserve my judgment for the weeks to come, because the defense is just so brittle. Yes, Leverkusen have been playing well this season, and yes, their attack is in form, but I don't think you can, give any normal reason for why you have to concede 5 goals at home. I think this is already a crisis for Dortmund, but the fact is they are second right now, and the gap in the league, just like the gap from the first to the second team, the second, third, fourth team from the rest of the pack. I think the gap is so huge that maybe they will not be, found out wanting. But again, the defense needs, it just instills no confidence. And there's a performance like this always round the corner, which does not augur well for Dortmund. Rahul?
so a couple of things. One is obviously like I think both of us agree that maybe the issues with the defense, for which it's just been confirmed that Nicolas Zula, whose contract expires at the end of the season, will actually join Dortmund on a free transfer. I think, but then there's one thing that I want to talk about, maybe that not a lot of people have talked about, is the coach Marco Rosa. I think a lot of the credit or the discredit also goes to Rosa for not doing a proper job because, uh, like, I have been following his career and he managed Mönchengladbach for 2 seasons before he moved to Dortmund. Now, Dortmund, I mean, Gladbach did have a good performance under him in his first season in charge, but then last season, I don't really think that he did any wonders with Gladbach, and still maybe on the goodwill or the credit that he had created uh, at Gladbach under his first season, Dortmund just followed that and appointed him. But if you take a look at what he did in his second season in charge, it doesn't really read for a good stats. So in a way, he has carried on from that second season and not from his first season in charge of Gladbach. So yeah, maybe he's a little overrated. I don't know. I mean, obviously, because we can't just say that every time Haaland is missing, so anything can happen with Dortmund. They should not be so dependent on one player. Like no team can be or should be so dependent on a single player. So yeah, I think a lot of the criticism also goes to Marco Rosa for not organizing the defense in a way. I mean, they
Most
signed this
definitely.
they signed this defender Pongracic, I guess, for some reason. So, like we've obviously talked about this before, that some of the time these clubs just don't really show the ambition that they should in order to compete with someone like Bayern Munich. You can't uh, sign someone like Pongracic. No offense, like to him, but if you are a team that is competing to win a championship, to win the Bundesliga, then you should have a set of player in your mind like that you want to sign who will uh, be good for you not only in the long term but also in the short term. Uh, I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah, again, and we have already discussed even their transfer policy. They have been like targeting the midfielders and attacking players right when they are very young, with the intention of selling them for a profit. And maybe somehow the requirements of the team were overlooked. They were growing on, without a lot of. I mean, Hummels. There was a reason why Bayern Munich let him go. He clearly had lost his pace, and then they went ahead and signed him. I don't know, maybe for the past glory factor and stuff. And they just have not, invested in defenders. And this is something that we talk about week in, week out. And again, if you don't plan properly, obviously you will slip up. And again, at the end of the day, you are answerable to your supporters. Let's see how they try and get out of this situation. Maybe they'll do something about it in the summer. Um, in the La Liga on Saturday, Osasuna hosted Sevilla. Again, a great chance for Sevilla to try and close the gap on Real Madrid. Unfortunately, they were not able to do so. It was a goalless draw. Again, Marshall made his debut in this match, but again, we did touch upon this fact that with the transfer activity that happened, especially at the end of the last month, it will take some time for players to sort of kick in and get the ball rolling. So I think a performance along expected lines, but yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm sure that Sevilla will not be happy with the result. They should have gotten 3 points here. Rahul, you're on mute.
so Rakitic actually missed a penalty in this match in the 93rd minute. So yeah, like you said, Martial started. I think the right back got injured, so Jesus Corona he also came on and played as a wing back or a full back. But yeah, I think they had an opportunity to take all 3 points, but in the end, Rakitic missed his penalty. So yeah, they had to settle for a point. But we talked about like yeah, I think it does look like it's gonna be a one-way race to the title. Yeah, I think we can move on from this match.
Yeah, on Sunday, Barcelona hosted Atletico Madrid. Atletico actually took the lead through Carrasco, I guess. Yes, and then there was a beautiful volley from Jordi Alba to equalize, and then Gavi, Araujo, and Dani Alves, of all people. These four scored. Alves also got a red card. The second goal for Atletico was scored by Suarez. Um, okay, so there are 3 points that I'd like to make in this match. Yes, there was glimpses of old flair. I won't say the old flair as such, but yes, there were glimpses of the old Barcelona in this match. They were playing with a lot more ease and comfort with passing the ball and stuff. Um, Athletic, again, I think this relationship has gone stale, Simeone and Athletic. Um, a change is needed. Let's see whether they again change the players or they try and change the coach this time around. And finally, these you know, huge blockbuster matches from La Liga are just so painful to watch with the antics and play acting and stuff. I mean, I remember specifically during the 9 minutes of the match, was the holding midfielder of Barcelona.
Busquets.
Busquets, yeah. Busquets actually lunged at one of the defenders of Atletico. And obviously, when somebody is, jumping on you, you'll try and, shoo him away. And then he acted as if he got the elbow in his face. Oh my God, that was cheating. That was blatant cheating. And again, this rule that whatever happens on the field happens on the field. They do disregard it in case of a red card or, dangerous play. I think it's high time the authorities clamp down on such behavior as well. Because until unless you do something about it, some sort of tangible action, I think this will go on. So, yeah, Rahul.
Well, yeah. So I kind of did predict Barcelona to win. I mean, obviously, I'm not saying that they're back. Not that I want them to be back either. But yeah, they just got such a big squad in a way. And yeah, I mean, there was this stat about Adama Traore. I think he hadn't really had an assist in God knows how long. But then he started for Barcelona and he had his first assist in 21 minutes. And in a way, it did look like maybe it could again be Atletico's day when Carrasco took the scored the opener, but then Jordi Alba scored, like you mentioned, a worldie, and then Araujo scored, Gavi scored, yeah, uh, even Dani Alves again. What a game! 38 years old now, had an assist, had a goal, and then a red card. In the end, yeah, Luis Suarez scored second. So yeah, like you said, I think it's not just Atletico who need a change. I think even Simeone needs a change. I think this philosophy is just not going to work now because his biggest strength, his forte, was his defense, and the defense is just so shit right now. Like they have what conceded at least two goals in their last five matches, if I'm not wrong. Uh, yeah, so if he can't sort out the defense, then this is not going to work. And let's see if Atletico pull the plug on him or when they do it, or if he's able to turn it around. But then, like I said earlier, he's becoming like this new Wenger or new Mourinho, I guess. So yeah, it's something that needs to happen for both the parties here.
Yeah, the only saving grace for Atletico actually was that Real Betis also lost at home against Villarreal. So they are still 4 points behind them with a game in hand. Barcelona are firmly in the top four race right now, and I think again we discussed it last time around. They will like nick one of those places. Anything you'd like to say about the Betis Villarreal match?
Yeah, I mean, Pau Torres gave them a lead, and Manuel Pellegrini, I think sometimes he does this in big games. He gets it wrong, and which is I think what happened here as well. Whereas Unai Emery, he just knows how to set up his teams in a way in big games especially. So yeah, that's what it did. I think with the signing of Giovanni Lo Celso as well. I think Pau Torres gave them a lead, and Chukwueze, yeah, the Nigerian winger, I think he scored again a great goal. I think second that he scored. So yeah, I think a good result for Villarreal, and in a way, I did predict for Betis to be the one to drop out of top four. So it does look like that could come to fruition. Yeah,
Yeah, and finally we had the Real Madrid against Granada match. Asensio scoring in the 74th minute. We did touch upon the fact that Madrid have not been their true self of late, and again this week Sevilla dropped points, and Madrid's lead now is at 6. But with the Champions League last 16 ties looming large and PSG winning 5-1, maybe there is some sort of a concern that Madrid should have right now. Their team is not really, gelling as well as they should. But then again, it's Madrid, so the experience factor will come into place, and maybe we are overanalyzing it. Maybe I'm too reading too much into it, but yeah, this is just something that they should guard against, complacency. Rahul?
I think having said that, I do want to say that this was actually a very important result for Madrid. this was very important 3 points. Like when you take into consideration the severe drop points. So, but it would be like if they wanted to be complacent, they could have also dropped points. They would have not taken this seriously. On top of that, they were actually without two of their best players. They were without Benzema. They were without Vinicius. So yeah, they still managed to score a goal. They still managed to get all 3 points. That's the reason why I agree with all your points, but at the same time, this like these 3 points were very important 3 points. And I do want to say something about Asensio. I think he's not the most consistent player, but he does have this tendency of scoring big goals. He does have uh, an end product, something that a lot of players lack. Yeah, I mean, maybe had he not been injured uh, for so long in a way, initially, maybe we would have seen him. I mean, we've already seen him being linked with big moves to clubs like Liverpool in the past. So yeah, I think anything else that you want to talk about in La Liga?
I think we've covered La Liga in detail. Again, just touching upon the PSG match, now they have a 13-point lead. That is pretty much all we have to discuss about Ligue 1. We can go to the Serie A now. On Saturday, we had Roma against, just a sec,
Genoa.
Genoa, a nil-nil draw, and Mourinho was actually not very happy about it. Both the teams got a red card each. Okay, that's fun. Um, he was not happy with the performance and, of course, the result. So, Rahul?
But yeah, so like we talked about this match in the beginning in the preview podcast, is because this match is taking place after the international break. Anything could happen. So, which is what happened here, a draw. Uh, I think Genoa lying in the relegation zone, they just came to frustrate Roma and they succeeded. It did look like Roma had actually scored a late goal, a late winner, and taken all 3 points, but it was not to be. That goal was ruled out by VAR. I think maybe Tammy Abraham made a foul leading up to that goal, which is why Zaniolo, like, I mean, if had that not been ruled out, that would have been a great goal again, a great goal by Nicolo Zaniolo. I think they do have some great young Italian players that they can depend on, that they can build around, especially someone like Zaniolo or even someone like Lorenzo Pellegrini, even Tammy Abraham that they signed. But yeah, it was not to be. Uh, so yeah, mm, not really sure like where they're going to finish in the end. Like it does look like really difficult at this point in time for Roma to finish in the top four. But a Europa League place, I think, is what is the best bet at this point in time for them.
Yeah, sure. Then we move on to the Milan derby. This was actually a tale of two sets of attacking players. Inter Milan not really taking the chances. Giroud got two chances in the match. He took both of them. And the two goalkeepers. Milan goalkeeper was absolutely stunning. And the first goal, I guess, was a mistake by Handanovic. So actually, against the run of play for 70 minutes, especially in the first half, Inter actually dominated, created a whole host of chances. Perisic got the first goal, could not get the vital second goal. And when you're leading by just one goal, there's always a probability that the opponent can come back, and that is exactly what Giroud did. He got two chances. The second one again, twist and shoot, a wonderful goal. And yes, they have Milan have done a huge favor to the chasing pack, and with the next week match, Napoli against Inter. So we were talking about it. Inter now have to face Liverpool as well. The title race, I think there is still a lot of life in it. Definitely, still now Inter are the favorites, but yes, it just got so much more interesting with this week's results. Rahul?
Yeah, I agree with you totally here. Again, like none of us is going to say that Inter Milan or sorry, AC Milan are a better team than Inter Milan right now because they are not. Inter Milan are a better side than AC Milan. But this match, the second half especially, just showed you what determination, hunger, passion, commitment, these things can do for you. Like it doesn't matter who's playing, it doesn't matter who's not playing. The motivation should come from inside in a way. And I think Pioli did a great job. He just told his players, I guess, that if we need to stay in the title race, then we need to win. We need to turn this around. And when you have someone like Giroud, again, talent can take you so far, no doubt. But then mentality is also something that you cannot teach someone. And Giroud, again, like maybe I'm being biased because he's a former Chelsea player. But then, yeah, mentality and class is something that you cannot teach someone. And Giroud has that. He's not the best goal scorer. He's not someone who's gonna be like the top goal scorer in the league, but he has this mentality of turning up in big games. Yeah, like that's what I want to say. Uh, and again, Inter Milan, I think had they taken all their chances in the first half, this would have been so different.
Just one point to say about Giroud. I mean, he is the ultimate professional. Ask him about him from any of the clubs that he has played for. He does not make a lot of mistakes, but somehow he gets relegated to a substitute role. Whenever he comes on, he does what is required of him. He scores important goals. He scores great goals, and I mean, it must be a dream, having such a player in your squad. Not making a fuss about anything, never hear a bad word about him, from him, about the team, about the coaching staff, about anyone. No tantrums at all, something that the new generation of footballers can definitely learn from. Um, okay, great professional. Moving on, Fiorentina started the post-Vlahovic era with a 3-0 loss to Lazio. Uh, Milinkovic Savic, Ciro Immobile, and Biragi scoring an own goal. Um, we did. I don't take our prediction seriously. I don't remember what we predicted, but Lazio, I think they were like Fiorentina, and there was eighth or ninth, and Fiorentina was sixth. So great result for them. Again, an indifferent start to the new year for Lazio. Again, 3 points would be more than welcome for them. There was some argument about the lack of transfer activity as well. So many stuff, bubbling under the radar. But again, a great performance by Lazio, and let's see how big a blow Vlahovic's departure will be, because Fiorentina was scoring goals for fun. Let's see how big the impact is. Rahul?
I think, yeah, like again, especially we're going to talk about the Juventus versus Verona game. So yeah, in this match, especially like the longer someone like Arthur Cabral takes to open his account, the more people are going to get worried for Fiorentina. So yeah, I think this was his first game. Maybe he can get a pass in this match. But yeah, I think to ease everyone's fears, he needs to score a goal. Yeah.
On Sunday, Atlanta actually lost at home to Cagliari. Musso got a red card in the 52nd minute. Um, Something that we did not expect, Rahul. Your views?
Yeah, I mean, again, like we talked about the Roma versus Genoa match. I think the teams in the relegation zone this time, Cagliari, they maybe they're the ones who made good use of the international break. The coach spent some time on the training ground, I guess, drilled his own methods. So Walter Mazzari, I think, made great use of the winter break, and they were actually missing a lot of players as well, Cagliari, but still they came to frustrate Atalanta, and to their luck, uh, Musso was sent off, which made Cagliari's job easier. Uh, because even Atlanta, if I'm not wrong, they missed some players in their last match before the international break due to COVID. They had a COVID outbreak, so they they had almost everyone back. But again, we just didn't know like what usually happens in a match like this when someone's been back after COVID. The fitness levels can take a match or two to reach that same level. So I guess that's what happened here, and Cagliari made full use of this. Uh, I don't know, like this is not a good result in a way for Atlanta at all, for the simple fact that AC Milan won, Napoli won, and Juventus won. So it does.
Yeah, even the chasing pack, Lazio won, so they have now Juventus are on the fourth place, and Lazio have closed the gap. So again, double whammy for Atlanta
Yeah.
songs. Um, Venezia lost 2-0 at home to Napoli. Victor Osimhen and Petarna scored. Again, something that we did predict. I did remember this prediction. I do remember this prediction. So away from home, pretty easy victory for Napoli, something that we did expect. And yeah, good on them, keeping the pressure on both the Milan teams. Rahul?
Yeah, and they're only going to get better now. Now that African Cup of Nations is over, they're going to get even trying Anguissa as well as Koulibaly back. So yeah, I think if they can stay fit and all their players are back, I think they can continue on the run that they uh, started with when they started the season. I think they were the last team, if I'm not wrong, to be beaten in the top five European leagues. So yeah,
Yeah, and finally we talk about the Juventus against Hellas Verona match. The post Vlahovic era starts in Juventus too, and he has started off with a bang, scoring a goal. Even Dennis Zakaria, the other recruit of importance, he also scored a goal. And as I just mentioned, Juventus are now fourth in the table. Rahul?
I think yeah, there were rumors, going around that Allegri would start with three strikers, Dybala, Morata, and Vlahovic. So yes, those rumors were true. He started with all three of them. I think Dybala, I think if I'm not wrong, he was the one who provided the assist for Vlahovic's goal. I think it was a great assist. And again, like 12 minutes or 13 minutes on the clock, he could have missed, but then that's what Vlahovic does. Has been doing at least 17 goals this season already for Fiorentina, and it took him just 13 minutes to open his account for his new club. So he didn't miss. And again, the lift that goal would have given the entire Juventus squad. And then again, on top of that, in the second half, could have been anyone, but then it had to be Dennis Zakaria, like the new signing. I'm not really sure if he's a box to box. Because from what I know, he's more of a defensive midfielder. Hasn't really scored much goals for Gladbach, but then maybe it was meant to be. He was the one who was supposed to score this goal. Yeah, so the two new signings, and both of them scored goals for Juventus to give them this victory. So yeah, I think Juventus are on the rise. They are on the up right now, clearly.
Okay, so just before we sign off, Rahul, Juventus now having played the same amount of matches as Napoli and Milan, 7 points behind these two teams. Do you see them catching them or maybe overhauling them or maybe one of them
I think
with
so.
14 matches?
Yes.
14 matches to go?
So if if Vlahovic, if the Vlahovic that we see at Juventus is the Vlahovic that was at Fiorentina, then yes, clearly. If he scores every game in a way, then yes.
Okay. We'll keep the question whether they can actually catch Inter for a couple of weeks right now. Yeah, let's see how. I mean, as they say, well begun is half done, so definitely a great start. I think with that we come to the end of this podcast. Thank you so much, guys, for your time. We'll be back with our preview episode of the midweek matches. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye.
All right, guys. Thank you.